This video is sponsored by Time Turners because right about now I'm wishing the sky was real. Hello my lovely friends, it's Margaret and I am the Word Nerd. So, if you missed the title, this is my April TBR, aka what I will be reading for the O.W.L.S Readathon. Now, the O.W.L.S is a month-long readathon put on by G from Book Roast. I will link her channel and the announcement video down in my description box if you are interested in participating in this fantastic readathon. This will be my first year participating. I found out about it last year, a little bit too late to actually make a TBR, and I was just like, well, I guess I'll do it next year. Now, there are 12 prompts for this readathon, and you are not allowed to double up on prompts unless it is explicitly stated, which is not for any of these this year or this time around, unfortunately for me. That's fine, it's fine, everything's fine. But you don't have to do all 12 prompts. G has made a gorgeous booklet that tells you all about the different wizarding careers that you could do and what different subjects you would need to pass on your O.W.L.S in order to take the newts in August, September, sometime around that time, because what you pass on your O.W.L.S is what you are allowed to take for your newts. I feel like it is more authentic to just go for as many prompts as I can and then pick from the ones that I actually accomplish, because that's how it would work in school. You would figure out which subjects you excel at and then go with those. So I just felt like that was a more authentic experience. You know, so we're gonna be trying to do all 12 prompts. Now, I've been smart about this. I didn't pick 12 huge honkin' books, although there is a huge honkin' book in here because Tome Topple happens this month as well, but there are some graphic novels, there are some audio books. These are not all going to be physical books that I'm going to be reading. I'm not fancy like some people, and I have not printed this out, so you all get to see my extremely anachronistic Batman cover while I read this letter. And it says, "Dear student, your OWL examinations will commence on the 1st of April. Please find the main revision topics enclosed within this letter in hopes that they will guide you on your preparations. Please know these are very important for your future career and well worth skipping a gobstone or a Quidditch game for. We encourage group studies at your house, dormitory, on the library. Revision sessions will be held for each subject. Please keep an eye on your dorm announcement boards. The last exam is the 30th of April. Please remember that every exam passed counts towards your overall OWL performance. You will achieve an acceptable after 2 passes and exceeds expectations with 6 passed exams, and an outstanding by passing 9 exams or more. If you require personal assistance, please ask your professors for help after a class or alternatively schedule a consultation with your head of house. Good luck. Yours truly, Minerva McGonagall." So the advised revisions topics are Ancient Runes, which is to read a retelling. Arithmancy, which is to read a work by more than one author. Astronomy, which is to read a book with star in the title. Care of Magical Creatures, which is to read a book that has a land animal on the cover. Charms, which is age-line, read an adult work. Defense Against the Dark Arts, which is Reducto, a title that starts with the letter R. Divination, which is a book set in the future. Herbology, which is a book with a plant on the cover. History of Magic, which is a book that was published at least 10 years ago. Muggle Studies, which is to read a contemporary novel. Potions, which is to read a sequel. And Transfiguration, which is to read a book with sprayed edges or a red cover. So as I said, I have 12 books, one to go with each prompt. I might switch some of these in and out depending on what the mood strikes. For Ancient Runes, which is to read a retelling, I'm going to be reading The Lost Hero by Rick Riordan. This is the first book in the sequel series to the Percy Jackson series. This is actually my favorite series of all time because it has the most Annabeth. I love Annabeth so much. And also Percy, but like, they're just so good together. Anyways, so this follows Jason, Leo, and Piper, and they are 3 new demigods at Camp Half-Blood, and they come at a very awkward time because the camp's favorite hero, aka Percy Jackson, has gone missing, hence the lost hero. And so they get sent on a quest to kind of figure out what the heck happened and why where did Percy go? And why do Jason's memories only extend to the bus that he ran into Leo and Piper and nearly got killed by a wind demon on? This is the April book for Demigods Anonymous, which is a book club that I run with Min Kobayashi and Kinsey Lee T. Keep your eyes peeled because we will have more information about our April read-along coming very, very soon. We are so excited to be diving into the Heroes of Olympus series. I love it so much. For Arithmancy, which is to read a book with more than one author, I am going to be reading Batman the Flash, The Button. This happens about the 20s in Batman and the Flash. It's a crossover between the two of them, and the 2 authors are Tom King and Josh Williamson. I have been loving what Tom King is doing with Batman. Despite Batman 50 I still love it. I'm still enjoying it, and he's promising us such good things. I am living my best Batcat life. I don't entirely know what's going on in this one because I don't really research what's going on in the comic books. I'm just like, oh, okay, it's this character. I want to read more about this character, and I am trying to read more about the Flash so that when BookCon comes, Professor Q and I can freak out about the Flash and stuff. But anyways, from what I understand, some of the stuff that happens in here is going to be tied into what's happening later on in Batman, and kind of it's a little bit tied into his reasoning behind actually proposing to Catwoman and trying to get his life together for once, although we're kind of past that point. It's kind of he's got the depression trunks out again, guys. It's sad. For astronomy, which is to read a book with star in the title, I'll be reading A Court of Frosted Starlight because I'm trying to work on getting my physical TBR down, and this is there. It's nice. It's short. It's got Feyre and Rysand in it, and as you know, I am apparently Akamath trash. I love this series. I love these two people. I mean, I hear that my faves are not the best behaved in this, but you know, honestly, with who they're going after, I'm okay with it. Because he's trash. I can't really tell you what this is about because that will spoil a whole bunch of things, but it's supposed to bridge the two halves of the ACOTAR series. ACOTAR is a Beauty and the Beast retelling where Feyre, the main character, gets dragged into fairy because she accidentally killed a fairy creature, and so now she has to live with the Fae and kind of pay off this debt, or risk ending the treaty that has happened between the humans and the Fae. And the first book is, but the second book is, whoo, yes. For Care of Magical Creatures, we are supposed to be reading a book with a land animal on the cover, and so I chose The Eye of the World by Robert Jordan. I have no idea what this is about. I just know that it is an epic fantasy series with a whole bunch of volumes, and that Brandon Sanderson ends up writing some of the later books, so if it's Brandon Sanderson, I am interested. Also, I like me a good epic fantasy, but it has horses on the cover. What better land animal is there? There is no better land animal, guys. It just doesn't, they don't exist. They are the most beautiful, the most amazing, the most majestic. Anyways, I'm actually going to be listening to this one as an audiobook because audiobooks are life, and there's no way I'm getting through this sucker and 11 other books in 1 month. For Charms, you are supposed to be reading an adult work, and I will be reading The Ghosts of Gotham by someone I don't remember. This is one of my April arcs that I am trying to read and review in time, around the time that it comes out. It's not gonna happen like before it comes out, but we're trying to get ahead of things so that we are reviewing things before they come out, so you know, we're a good booktuber and actually like keeping up with some of the arcs that we get. But this is an adult mystery. I don't remember what it's about, don't really care. It fit the prompt. I need to read it this month. Ta-da. For Defense Against the Dark Arts, which is to read a book with a title that begins with the letter R, I'm going to be reading The Reader by Tracy Chee. So from what I understand, it's about a world where people don't know how to read. It's like kind of unheard of according to the back of the book. But then she finds the book and everything changes. I don't know. It sounded interesting. It's on, again, it is on my physical TBR. So I said, ha, that fits the prompt, let's go. Also, I happen to have this on Scribd, so I will be able to listen to this as an audiobook, which will be fantastic. Yes, I know, isn't that great? For Divination, which is to read a book set in the future, I will be reading Scythe by Neil Shusterman. From what I understand, this is set in a world where we have conquered death. Nothing that can kill you anymore. They had to create these beings called Scythes who have a quota every year that they're supposed to meet, they basically call human beings so that the population doesn't go banana nutball. I have been hearing about this book. I've been waiting to get closer to when the last book comes out or the third book comes out so that I won't absolutely lose my mind waiting for the next book, because listen, I don't have much patience for that right now. Queen of Nothing just kind of took all of it, okay? I'm sorry. It's Jude's fault. I have friends that really like this. A lot of people on BookTube have really enjoyed it, so it's time for me to get on the hype train and find out what this is about. Speaking of hype trains, the next prompt is Herbology, which is to read a book with plants on the cover. And for that, I chose The Last of August by Brittany Cavallaro. This is another one that I have on Scribd, so I can listen to it, and everything is fine. Also, I just read A Study in Charlotte last month, and I absolutely loved it. It was so good. Why did I wait this long? Because I didn't hear about it until last year, and there are so many books. This is the second book in the Sherlock Holmes series. It is told from the perspective of Jamie Watson, who is the great something grandson of the infamous James Watson. And if you were thinking, Sherlock Holmes, that sounds familiar, it's because this is a modern day retelling of Sherlock Holmes, with two teens in a boarding school somewhere in like Massachusetts or something like that. It's an elite boarding school. They're two British kids stuck on the other side of the pond, and it is hilarious. Their dynamics were great. They didn't get along all that great at first, at the beginning of the first book, but then someone got murdered, and so they kind of had to work together because they were the prime suspects for the murder. The next prompt is History of Magic, which is to read a book that is more than 10 years old. This one made me feel old. I'm going to be reading City of Bones by Cassandra Clare, which came out in 2007? Like, when you realize a series that you were reading around the time it came out is 10 years old, it makes you feel kind of like an ancient rune. I will not actually be reading this one. I'm so sorry you have to deal with awkward naked Jace. It's just, it was a choice. I will actually be reading and annotating the paperback version that matches these two lovely ones. I found these at a thrift store. They were 75 cents, and for some reason someone just like made off with the first one and didn't get the rest of them. Like, if they're 75 cents, why would you not get all of them? I don't understand this. I'm gonna hold this one up because Clary is pretty and she deserves all the world. But this is about Clary Frey, and she finds out on her 16th birthday that she is actually from a race of beings called Shadowhunters, and Shadowhunters' jobs, it's to like kill the demons that keep trying to come into our world from other dimensions. And so she gets drawn into this whole world with the Shadowhunter, and she has to deal with werewolves and vampires and fairies and warlocks suddenly all existing. Her mother goes missing, she almost gets killed, she gets rescued by these Shadowhunters, and then she has to deal with the repercussions of that, and also trying to find her mother. We're gonna see if I like this as much as I liked it the first time, because I know the first like 2 or 3 times I was absolutely trash for this series, and I'm really enjoying my reread of The Infernal Devices. I absolutely am adoring it. It's amazing. It's fantastic. I love it. After that, we are moving on to Muggle Studies, which is to read a contemporary novel, and I am going to be reading Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. I don't have a physical copy of this. I was supposed to, but my library, it's been in transit for like a week. I will be listening to this on audiobook, and basically it is about murder, hijinks in a boarding school. This is one of the books that I want to actually read in 2019 because, I am slacking. And so this is about Stevie Bell. She ends up going to this place called Ellingham Academy, and basically Ellingham Academy is like the super prestigious school where you don't apply to them, they find you and they let you pursue a specific passion. And Stevie's specific passion is this murder disappearance thing that happened at the very beginning of Ellingham Academy, where the headmaster's wife and daughter disappeared, and the only clue to where they went was this note by someone named Truly Devious. And if you were thinking, maybe Truly Devious has shown back up again now that Stevie is at Ellingham Academy, you'd be right. I want to know what happens. It also is the book's friend pick for April, so I kind of would like to actually join in on the live show. We'll see about that. But the next one we're supposed to be covering is potions, but we're actually going to talk about Transfiguration first, because then it will make sense. So Transfiguration is to read a book with sprayed edges or a red cover. For that, I will be reading The Flash Rebirth, Volume 1, Lightning Strikes Twice. This is about Barry Allen. He's the Flash. That's all I know about what's going on in this book. It's part of the Rebirth line, and I so far have liked everything that's happened in Rebirth. We'll see if that continues to be the case, but like at least the big 3, they were doing a very good job at the beginning, and I was really enjoying it. That might be because my main ships are Bruce and Selena and Clark and Lois, but you know. From there, we will be moving on to do Potions, which is to read a sequel, and for that, I will be reading The Flash Volume 2, Speed of Darkness. That is my TBR for the Owls in 2019. Wish me luck, because it's 12 books, and like, I know I can do it, but at the same time, it's a lot of books to read. And let me know down below how you are tackling the Owls this year. What is your career? What books are you reading? How do you feel about it? Are you going to try and do all 12 like I am because you're an overachiever like I am? Classic Ravenclaw, okay? Classic Ravenclaw, except for the fact that like I haven't chosen a career, but again, I'm going for the authenticity factor, so maybe, possibly, I don't know. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, hit that subscribe button. I make videos about books and writing, and I would love to see your lovely face here on a regular basis. If you want more of me, you can find me on Instagram and a Twitter. Those are both @thewordnerd with a 3 in a nerd instead of the E. That is it for now, my friends. Happy reading, and I will see you later when we will talk about more wordy, nerdy things. Bye!